So sometimes hindsight can be 20/20 when you're talking about football players, especially at Ohio State, when just because of how they decide to handle injuries here, we don't always know the full story in the midst of things. So sometimes you can see a player not playing well, and people in the general public will just chalk it up to, oh, he needs to play better, he sucks. And then months later, whether it's Jackson Smith-Njigba in 2022, Travion Henderson in 2022, Emeka Egbuka in 2023, or Jaden Fielding in 2024, apparently, Stefan, some of the mistakes he was making, some of the mishaps he was happening was a result of an injury that maybe we did not know about during the year.
Yeah, so he just told us that he had basically torn an abductor in his right hip week 3 against Marshall, and we were just talking about it. It kind of matches up with a little bit of a timeline that Ryan Day had given us, early in the year. If you recall, Ohio State having kickoff issues with balls being kicked out of bounds. Ohio State ended up making a bit of a change, and Ryan Day said that it was due to injury that Jaden Fielding couldn't do kickoffs anymore, but he could keep kicking field goals. Kind of odd, but we, kind of as the season kept going, Jaden Fielding kept going out there kicking field goals, and I think we just kind of chalked it up to, okay, whatever this minor injury was, it's not getting in the way of him kicking field goals. But we saw him, play inconsistently throughout the course of the season. He had success, obviously, against Oregon in the playoff, made the, essentially championship clinching field goal against Notre Dame. Like, he was successful in the playoff. He played much better. But then, of course, you look back at the regular season, the Michigan game is the one that sticks out, where if he makes his kicks, both probably something he would describe as chip shots, field goals that he should make, they probably win that Michigan game. So it's enlightening to know that, okay, going into 2025, if Jaden Fielding is going to be this team's kicker, it's nice to know that a big reason for his inconsistencies in 2024 is gone, right? He said he feels healthy now. He said he always felt confident in himself, but obviously the confidence goes up after making those big kicks, in the playoff, being healthy now. So if you're worried about Jaden Fielding going into 2025, maybe this alleviates some of that, knowing this is why he struggled, or this is a big reason why he struggled in 2024. That's gone. It's kind of a new season for him here, and a chance to really clean up last year. Because he said he celebrated the championship because it was great that the team accomplished that, but there was part of him that was, in the back of his head thinking, I didn't do my part. I didn't play as well as I could have. It's kind of like when your group project gets an A, but, you feel like you didn't contribute enough. You'll take the A, but the next time you do a group project, you want to step up and be a bigger part of that. And I think that's what we are expecting to see from Jaden Fielding in 2025.
You always take the A with a group project, especially when it gets you a banner. And, yeah, you probably chalk it up to, he missed 2 chip shots in Michigan. If he didn't have an abductor injury, maybe he makes those, especially, you said his right hip?
Yeah.
Wait, kicks with his right leg. So that's part of that. So, Andrew, knowing that information now, that maybe it wasn't a ability issue, it was a physical issue. If he's fully healthy going into 2025, does that increase your confidence in where Ohio State special teams might be in 2025, especially when it comes to kicking?
I mean, yeah, how does it not, right? Especially at the end of the season, I was over talking to one of the punters, Nick McClarty, when this was going on. So you guys came over here and told me, I went, huh? What? And then you start to kind of just go through all the moments in your head, and I was like, well, wait a minute, didn't he have that one game where he had 4 kicks out of bounds? You start to kind of, oh, wait a minute, this happened. Oh, wait a minute, that happened. And I think there's a difference between giving an excuse and giving a reason. I don't think he necessarily wants that to come across as an excuse. I don't think Ohio State necessarily wants to come across as an excuse, but there is a reason for it. There is a reason maybe why some of those kicks did not go in. There is a reason why, they did have to make the change on the kickoff. It wasn't just, oh, hey, we're not feeling great about this. We can just make a change and it'll be fine and whatever. There was a genuine thing. So, yeah, I think you have to feel pretty good about it, because if he's fully healthy, this isn't something where you get to the end of the year and you say, oh, well, everybody's battling something. Everybody's banged up. Everybody, JT Tuimoloau played the national championship game on a, high ankle sprain. And, you just tape it up and you go. Imagine if JT Tuimoloau was the kicker and he had a high ankle sprain on his right leg, right? This directly impacted his job. It's kind of like a pitcher having something go wrong with their hand or a blister on their finger or something. They can't do the job as well because of this role. So, yeah, I think, when you talk about where Ohio State's kicking situation is headed into 2025, I mean, if he's healthy, how does it not get better?
So why are we doing a video on special teams? Because Ohio State special teams seem to have something pop up every single year, whether it's guys who are not in the right positions, whether it's punting problems, whether it's kicking problems, whether it's special teams coordinator who is not living up to the billing, right? And so in 2025, you're kind of just hoping that things can just be normal, with the special teams. You don't need anything spectacular. Can you just be clean there? Because special teams have sometimes gotten in the way of what Ohio State's wanting to do with some things. So if Jaden Fielding is 100% healthy in 2025 and doesn't have any of those issues, we're thinking that has an opportunity for that to happen. Get the text 614-350-3315. When we learned that news, that's where we went first. And then we did a video about it, and then Stefan wrote about it. And then we potted. We do a lot of things, but we're going to text it first. That's Stefan. I'm Steven. That's Andrew. Go listen to Buckeye Talk wherever you find podcasts. We'll continue that conversation there.